Well, hello there, and welcome to today's presentation, The Invisible Belly, the 4 secrets that thin and healthy women use to quickly drop over 10 pounds and never gain it back. You know what? It's really great to have you here. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in, and let's talk about who this presentation is for. So this is for you if you have at least 10 pounds or more to lose. You want to lose it and keep it off and not gain any more, and you truly want to be healthier and happier about how you look and feel. And this is also for you if you're tired of struggling with yo-yo diet. You're losing weight, you're gaining it back, and then you gain back even more. And you're truly afraid that the weight's going to continue to go up no matter what you try. And you don't know if you should do low carb or keto or paleo, or maybe go vegan, or try Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or Nutrisystems, or maybe you should join a local gym and hire a trainer, or do any of the other 10,000 different diet and weight loss plans out there. It just feels so overwhelming. And this is also for you if you do not want to feel or look like a fat woman anymore. When you're getting dressed for work, when you're going shopping, when you're going to a party or a wedding, or maybe hanging out with your friends or family, you just don't want to feel like this anymore. And this is also for you if you're busy and you truly want to be more health focused, but you don't know what to cook, and you don't know what to buy at the grocery store, and you don't know what to order when you go out to eat. So most of the time it's just easier to get fast food. And this is also for you if you want to have fun shopping for clothes instead of buying clothes that hide the rolls of fat. So you know what? If you want to stop obsessing about food and your weight all the time and remove the word diet from your vocabulary, then you know what? If any of these sound like you are in the right place. By the end of today's masterclass, you will no longer be confused about what foods to eat, or what to cook, or what to buy at the grocery store, or what to order when you go out to eat. And you're going to know which meal plans are right for you and your lifestyle. And I will show you how to quickly drop 10 to 20 pounds in the next 30 to 60 days or less without stepping foot into the gym. That's right. And you will finally quit beating yourself up over what you've been doing wrong, because I'm going to show you why it's not your fault that you have a weight problem to begin with and what has held you back. And you are going to be able to finally control yourself around food without worrying about binge eating. And you're no longer going to be ashamed feeling that food controls you. And get this, you're going to have a lot of fun having a party because you're going to have a bonfire and you're going to burn all those crazy diet and fat books that you've bought over the years. And by the end of this class, you will know exactly what to eat so you can feel confident in your clothes this summer and beyond. And you're going to learn my exact process that my clients have used for years to reset your body so you start to immediately burn belly fat and reduce inflammation 24/7. So if you are ready to live in your right size body and lead a healthy and happy lifestyle, then this is my promise to you. By the end of this masterclass, I'm going to show you a step-by-step strategy that you can use immediately to drop 10 pounds or more and never gain it back and not step foot into the gym. And I'm going to show you how you can take control over your weight loss, show you the exact process that my clients have used to lose weight quickly, and most importantly, never gain it back. You are about to learn the most sustainable weight loss program on the planet. So now, before we go any further, I want to ask you a question. Do any of these sound like you? Do you feel like a loser because you truly want to get into better shape, but you find yourself sleeping in instead of going to the gym. And you say you want a nice body, but you find yourself eating everything in sight or eating foods that you promised yourself that you wouldn't eat. And you buy clothes to hide your body and skin tone versus embracing it. Or maybe you're just sick of struggling with your weight and you've tried all kinds of diets and food plans. You've read all the books. You are still not where you want to be. You don't know if you should do keto or paleo or a detox or a cleanse or go vegan. Take diet pills, do shakes for breakfast. It's exhausting trying to navigate through all of these choices. And you secretly feel that food controls you. Or maybe this sounds like you. Do you feel frustrated that carbs are good one day and then the next day they're bad? And do you feel confused because one day it's okay to fast and the next day they tell you not to? You know what? There's over 112 million listings on Google for how to lose weight and over 35 million listings on how to diet. It's no wonder it's overwhelming. Or maybe this sounds like you. Do you feel that no matter what you do, you will never lose weight and have a healthy and sexy body that you've always wanted? Well, you know what? If any of these sound like you, I have very good news. Because guess what? None of these are the real problem. You see, the real problem is that you have not made what I call the shifts. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what they are in a moment. But before that, just know that once you make these shifts, you're going to finally feel beautiful and confident and sexy again. You're going to have so much fun doing selfies in your new clothes. And you can wear your skinny jeans and maybe wear that little black dress or an outfit that you've been wanting to wear for so long. You're going to know exactly what to eat and how much, and your health and energy will start to improve. You're going to no longer be confused about what to eat because you know what? Food's going to be fueling you and healing you. You're going to know what you can eat when you go out to dinner, you go out to lunch, or maybe a party, or if you're eating at home or with the family. In addition to that, once you make these shifts, your energy and health will start to improve. And almost overnight, your skin's going to glow. And inflammation is going to start to reduce, and your belly bloat will start to go away. Imagine that. And also, you're going to find yourself being really excited to post on Facebook or Instagram or social media pictures of how beautiful and amazing that you look in your new clothes and shoes because of all the beauty and the confidence that you exude. You're going to love it. And all eyes, they're going to be on you because you are rocking it. And you may start to see muscles and muscle tone that perhaps you haven't seen in years. And you're going to look in the mirror in amazement because you know what? All of that fat is literally starting to melt away right in front of your eyes. And people around you, they will respect you and admire you. And your mate or your significant other is going to find you truly irresistible. And if you're single, you're going to have fun shopping for new clothes for your next hot date. And your children and family and friends, they're going to be proud of you for finally getting that weight off. And oh my goodness, get ready for compliments. You're just going to enjoy your life because you know what? You finally feel great. And you've got energy again. Energy is a spice of life. So now before we go any further, let me take a moment and tell you a little bit about me and why it is that you should listen to me. So my name is Joan Teglovic, and I'm also known as Joan of Health, and that's the name of my business. And I actually created the Invisible Belly Weight Loss and Healthy Lifestyle Program. And so what I do is I specialize in helping women go on their very last diet and get a flatter stomach and a healthier lifestyle for themselves and their family. In addition to that, I'm a board-certified health and weight loss coach and a strategic intervention life coach. I actually trained under the same company that trained Tony Robbins, who's one of the #1 results coach in the world. I've studied over 100 diet theories and ways of eating, and I've been a health coach for over 10 years now. In addition to that, I've had a very extensive corporate career. I was in the food business for over 20 years. And during my corporate career, I worked on the marketing side, the manufacturing side, and also the distribution side. So you know what? I personally know how food affects our weight and our health. I have seen with my own eyes what the manufacturing companies put into foods, the ingredients that actually make us addictive. They actually harm us. And I also know what the marketing companies do to make you come back and buy more and more of foods that you know aren't good for you, but you just can't help it. So I've actually, because of that, and what I know is one of the reasons why I became a health coach. To that, this is my little rescue dog. I call him Happiness, and he's just the love of my life. So now that's a little bit about me. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dive right into these shifts that I've been talking about. So discovering the 4 simple shifts. So let me take a moment and tell you how I discovered these shifts. You see, for years, I struggled with my weight and mood swings and binge eating and never feeling good enough about myself. And one year during my annual Well Woman visit, I was diagnosed with an ovarian tumor. And we didn't know if it was cancerous or not. And if so, they're usually terminal within 5 years. So I was immediately scheduled for surgery. And during my surgery, my doctor removed both of my ovaries, my cervix, and my uterus. And as a result, I can never have a baby of my own. And you know what? This is something that saddens me to this day. Now, luckily, it wasn't cancerous. And when I asked my doctor, well, how did this happen? You know, what caused this? She says, you know, we just don't know. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? I found this answer to be completely unacceptable. My whole reproduction system had just been taken from me. And this was a turning point in my life. And I realized, you know what? I needed to get to the bottom of this and find out why. So what I did is I studied over 100 different diet theories because I wanted to learn why this could have happened. And I read several books, and I learned how my diet was making me sick and fat and moody. It was causing my health issues. You know, it took me over 20 years to figure this out. So I've actually incorporated all of these things that I've learned into these shifts that I'm about to share with you. And I am happy, healthy, thin, and free of diseases. So the bottom line is this. There's 4 key shifts that you must make if you want to lose weight and keep it off. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through these. So let's get ready for shift number 1. Warning, this is really going to shock you. So shift number 1 is leverage. Let's leverage your metabolism for quicker results. You see, I don't want you to exercise during the weight loss phase because you know what? It actually results in weight gain. You see, exercise is only about 15% of the overall weight loss equation. And when we decrease food consumption, our metabolisms actually slow down so that we can function with less food, right? So if you're increasing exercise while decreasing food consumption as well, this also lowers your metabolism. And you see, during the weight loss phase, exercising has the opposite effect. It's called compensation. So it actually makes you more hungry and more susceptible to go off in your diet plan. And because you're not yet used to eating a different meal plan, it's not been conditioned, you're going to hear that voice in your head says, oh, it's okay to have, a latte or, a muffin or a bagel or maybe a piece of pizza or some ice cream, right? It's going to tell you that. So this is one of the biggest reasons that most diets fail. And there's so many documented stories about this. And the apparel companies and the food companies, they keep this research buried. Think about this. Did you ever watch that TV show, The Biggest Loser? Where severely obese people, they had them exercising and doing burpees and all of these things, and all of this extra weight was going onto their body and their joints, and even their hearts and souls. And you know what? 99%, that's right, 99% of them gain the weight back, and they even gain more weight. You see, the weight loss phase, it's a very, very special time. And your body's going through a lot of release. It's tired. You know, you're letting go of stored toxins that may have been there for years. You're getting rid of fat and bacteria and inflammation. And you know what? Exercise. It's going to derail your It's going to derail your efforts. Now, keep in mind, I exercise every day. I'm totally for it. It's okay to start exercising once we get your weight off and you're sticking to your meal plan on a regular basis. Then you can start to exercise. Okay? So once again, shift number 1, how we leverage your metabolism is no exercise during the weight loss phase. And I hope you like that. So now we're going to go on to a case study. So this is Camilla, and she lost 50 pounds. That's right, 50 pounds without exercising. Her highest weight was 165 pounds, and her lowest in her weight right now is 115 pounds. So when Camilla was growing up, she was actually overweight her whole life, and her parents were alcoholics, and they were always fighting. And as a child, food was comfort to her. She loved to binge on donuts and M&Ms and ice cream. You know, the feel-good food. She just couldn't stop. And she tried Weight Watchers, Atkins, diet pills, keto, Overeaters Anonymous. She also did all the new vitamins and shakes, all those programs that are always coming out, right? And as she got older, she just used exercise and regular dieting as a way to control her weight, but it was never consistent. And she was ashamed, and she used to pray for God. And when we started to help her, it was different than anything she'd ever tried because we addressed the root cause and the effects. And within 4 weeks, her weight started to come off, and she found freedom from food controlling her. And you know what? Now she loves to exercise. And she finally got rid of that cycle of eating and then, burn off the calories. Eat, burn off the calories. And it's been 3 years now since she's maintained her goal weight. She looks and feels great. And you know what? Her husband is totally in love with her. Okay, so now let's go on to shift number 2. Now, you know what? I'm going to warn you. This shift is going to blow you away. So shift number 2 is what I call ditch the standard American diet. You see, at least 108 million people in America are on a diet, but unfortunately they fail. Why do you think this is? That's 108 million people. I'll tell you why this is. It's because we've all grown up eating what I call the standard American diet, which is eating cereal, ice cream, cake, cookies, pastas, packaged foods, bagels, muffins, pizza, soda, diet soda, foods full of refined sugars and flour, industrialized beef and poultry, and dairy that's full of antibiotics and hormones, beer, wine, alcohol, foods full of artificial sugars, and anything in a box has actually messed with our brain chemistry and how our body processes what we're eating and what we're drinking. So let me explain what this means. You see, these are what I call designer addictive foods, all the foods that I just mentioned. I actually worked for, a couple of food manufacturers, and I know exactly what the food companies put into these foods to make them addictive. So these foods have actually hijacked our hormones and our neurotransmitters by altering our brain chemistry. And so because of this, all of our weight loss efforts are blocked. And these foods, they actually cause you to binge eat. They cause you to not be able to stop eating, even though you've already eaten plenty of food. All right? This is very, very, very serious, and you need to do something about it right away. Let me explain a little further here. Have you ever just had dinner and you went home, or maybe you had dinner with your family, and you sat down to maybe watch TV or a movie. You grab a bag of chips or some ice cream or maybe a piece of cake or a cocktail, and you still don't feel full or satisfied. Why is that? I'll tell you why. It's because our bodies, they haven't yet adapted to this nonstop smorgasbord of calories that they get from heavily processed foods that have a lot of refined sugars and flours that we eat all the time. And so when we eat too much, the excess foods that we don't immediately burn off, it goes into the fat cells. And as the cells become fuller, what they do is they secrete a hormone which is called leptin. And this is a feedback mechanism in the brain. And since we have been eating the wrong foods for so long, what this does is it causes our insulin levels to skyrocket. And this causes leptin resistance. And what's happening is that your brain, it's not getting the message to stop eating. So that's why you keep eating. Your brain thinks you are starving. So you keep eating and you stay fat. Let me explain this another way. Have you ever needed to get gas where your gas tank was almost empty? So what do? You go to the gas station, you pull up to the pump. You take off the gas cap, you take the pump, and you start pumping your gas. So you're sitting there, you're pumping, you're pumping, you're pumping, you're pumping. All of a sudden you get this click, and it says, hey, the gas tank's full. So you take the pump out, you put it back on the stand, and then you close your gas cap, right? So this is exactly what leptin, that feedback mechanism in your brain, is supposed to do. But unfortunately, it's broken. So if you didn't get that click when you were pumping your gas, but you kept pumping it more and more and more, the gas would go all over the engine and all over the place, and it would do a lot of damage, right? Well, that's exactly what these processed foods are doing to your body. That's why you can't lose weight. So here's another example. Have you ever had a craving for a certain type of food? I'm sure you have. I used to drive 10 miles to a specialty store to buy a certain brand of chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies. I loved these, and I would go buy them. I'd go sit in my car, I'd turn on the radio, and I'd eat the whole bag in one sitting. Why in the world did I do this? I mean, that's 4 pounds of cookies. I couldn't stop eating. I'm going to tell you why that happens, and I'm sure that you've had this happen to you before. It's because foods that are full of sugar, they hit the part of our brain which is called, dopamine receptors. And this is the feel-good center of the brain that makes you happy. So a lot of times if you're not happy, it's because you don't have enough dopamine in your brain. And so as we eat foods that have a lot of refined sugar and flour, our receptors over time get flooded with too much dopamine. And what this does is it lights them up like a pinball machine. It's kind of like lighting them up on steroids. And these receptors, they're simply not designed to process so many foods full of sugars and flours and chemicals like cookies and candy and cake and ice cream and cereal and pizza and chips and sodas. All the foods that we all eat not knowing, right? And since these receptors can't handle this, how they handle it is through a process called downregulation. And it changes the physiology of the brain chemistry. And the more of these types of foods, sugary foods and stuff that you have, the more you're going to need next time to feel good. So that's why if you're feeling stressed or you're having a down day or something's going on, what do? You immediately crave something sweet. So that's why we get moody and we go crazy if we don't get our food fixes. And these foods have literally broken your brain. So no matter what you do, you're not going to lose the weight. And as a result, you keep desiring more foods that make you feel good. And these foods truly become addictive. And you can't help but want more. I mean, think about it. Let's think about, a 1-year-old baby. They always get a birthday party, right? And what's the first thing they get is they get a cake. They're already associating happiness and fun and joy to sugar. Then you have a birthday party, when they turn 2 or 3, right? We have birthday parties as we continue on in our, as we grow up. Then there's Valentine's Day candy. Then there's Easter. candy. There's Christmas and Thanksgiving. There's always some event that's always revolved around sugars and sweet. And you know what? Sugar is actually said to be 8 times more addictive than cocaine. And guess what? Food companies know this, and they thrive on it because of this. So you know what? It is not your fault that you are overweight. It is not your fault. You know, when I first learned this, it actually brought tears to my eyes because I spent so much of my life thinking that I could never lose weight and keep it off because I always wanted to come back for more and more and more. Can you relate to this? So, how do we fix this? I'll tell you. The key is to understand how susceptible that you are personally to the pool of refined foods that you've been eating. And you see, once we determine your sensitivity or your susceptibility, what we can do is we can tailor a proper weight loss program that's sustainable. You see, not everybody is equally susceptible. There's about 30% of the population that, they don't really feel pulled towards refined foods, and they don't really have that much of a problem with it. Then there's another probably 30% or so of people that can actually do what I call moderation. They can have a little bit and then kind of let it go. Then there's another, probably 30% or so of the population that, you give them 1 or 2 pieces of candy, they can't stop. Or, they can't have 1 or 2 pieces of pizza. They go on and on and on. And there's all of these hidden sugars and hidden chemicals and foods that we eat that we don't even know what we're eating. So once again, the key here is to understand how susceptible you are. Once we know that, we can then tailor a proper weight loss program that's going to fix your brain chemistry, right? And that's going to be sustainable for you. So you're not going to have any more problems losing weight. So once again, shift number 2 is about ditching the standard American diet, fixing your brain chemistry, and eating the right foods for you so that you can have sustainable weight loss. All right, so now we're going to go on to a case study. So this is actually Leanne, and she lost 60 pounds in 3 months and never gained her weight. Her highest weight was 199 pounds, and her current weight is 130. And she struggled with her weight ever since she can remember. She was on her first diet when she was 14 in her high school. She tried every diet out there, and she personally was addicted to pizza, cafe lattes, and of course chocolate chip ice cream. She had tons of mood swings, and she also suffered from anxiety. And sugar is one of the #1 causes of anxiety. And she had no idea that the food she was eating was causing her to not be able to lose weight. And once she started to work with us, she was waking up feeling more energetic, her sugar hangovers were gone, her obsession with pizza and pasta and ice cream started to go away, she stopped binge eating, and she no longer stood in front of the refrigerator devouring a whole tub of ice cream. Her mood swings and anxiety started to go away, and she felt lighter, and she started to feel pretty again, and she has since reached her goal weight. And she feels like a totally healthy person. And she says, hey, I got my healthy back. All right, so now we're going to go on to shift number 3. And shift number 3 is what I call be empowered. You see, 65% of Americans, 65% are overweight. And 31% are obese and are a very, very high risk for chronic diseases like cancer and stroke and heart disease, and also autoimmune diseases, problems with your digestion, inflammation, things like that. And get this, the average American actually goes on 4 to 5 diets per year. And 99% of people who go on a diet, they fail and gain more weight. So the odds are not stacked in your favor. So being empowered is about taking back control over this versus you feeling like you don't have any control over your weight and health. And you see, without accepting 100% responsibility for your health and your lifestyle, nothing else matters. It's very important that you take a step back and understand what it means to actually have integrity with your body and how you treat it, and not put yourself on the back burner like so many women do. And one of the most important factors to creating extraordinary health is having energy, right? Yet once again, we put our bodies on the back burner. So how do we take responsibility and have integrity with our bodies when we've tried so many times and failed? It's what I call shifting our mindset. So understanding that your body and your lifestyle are truly a mirror to how you've been living. And whatever's going on with your weight and your health, it's because of what's been going on inside of you. And so you need to learn to cultivate what I call a powerful mindset so that we can get you to your goal weight and to live a healthy lifestyle. And if you don't have this, it doesn't matter what I teach you or what anybody teaches you to eat or to drink or what exercises, because you know what? You're going to fail if you don't have it. You see, it's 80% is mindset and conditioning new behaviors so they become automatic and become a habit. And if I were to teach you what to eat and how to exercise, it wouldn't matter unless you have the mindset shifts. So once again, to be successful is 80% mindset and 20% mechanics. So now, let's talk about the new way. So here's the new way, is what I call doing or having a mind-body reset. This is the only sustainable diet on the planet. So listen up here. First of all, you need to do mindset conditioning, meaning you need to condition new behaviors. The next thing that you need to do is you need to eat the right foods to fix your brain chemistry. Remember what I talked about, how the standard American diet, all of these foods everywhere are messing with our brain? So once you do that, you lose the weight and you enjoy your new healthy lifestyle. It's that easy. That's all it is. So shift number 3 is about doing a mind-body reset and shifting your mindset so that we can actually get the weight off and you can enjoy your new life forever. Okay, so here's a case study, and this is actually Denise. And Denise lost 35 pounds. Her highest weight was 175 pounds, and her current weight is 140 pounds. And she, of course, grew up on the standard American diet, where she had lots of hamburgers and hot dogs and meat and potatoes and sweets. She lived in the Midwest, where it was cold and dreary a lot of times during the year. And what they did for entertainment was they had a lot of cookouts and cooking parties. They'd go out to eat, and they had a lot of dinner parties. And after she went through her divorce, she found herself gaining more and more weight. It was like she was gaining 10 pounds every decade. And when she found the Invisible Belly program, what really helped her to lose the weight quickly was the understanding of how she was addicted to these fast foods, and desserts. And when she stopped eating those foods that were making her binge, the weight just started to melt off. She lost a total of 35 pounds. And here's the beautiful thing. She hasn't gained a single pound back. And the food plan and the structure made it really easy for her to stick to. And you know what? She's so happy because she's in control of her health and her life. And if she ever finds herself slipping back and gaining weight, she has all the tools that she needs to quickly get her back on track. All right, so now let's do a quick recap. The first shift we talked about was leveraging your metabolism for quicker weight loss results. The second shift was to ditch that standard American diet and eat the right foods for your body and your brain chemistry. And then the third shift was about being empowered and using the mind-body reboot. So let's get ready for shift number 4, the last shift, which is invest in the right mentoring. You see, finding the right mentor will actually empower you with focus, insight, and accountability that you're going to need to lose the weight to keep it off. Also, with the help of a health mentor, studies have shown participants lost over 9% of their body weight in less than 60 days. You see, over 108 million Americans go on 4 to 5 diets per year, and they fail due to the foods that we talked about from the standard American diet. And 63% of people are going to die this year from diet-related diseases like cancer, diabetes, and stroke. And over the next 20 years, developed nations just like ours are going to spend over $47 trillion on diseases that are actually caused by the global industrialized diet. You know what? Don't be another statistic. Don't go at it alone anymore. Working with a mentor actually increases your results by 75% versus doing it alone. So find the best coach out there and invest whatever it takes to work with them and get well. Trying to lose weight and keep it off and maintain a healthy lifestyle is nearly impossible nowadays. How many times will you continue to try and then fail? There's a war going on with the food industry. So here it is. You deserve to have the body of your dreams. And you need help from someone who's solved this problem thousands of times. Someone who's walked in your shoes and has a solution that's proven and fast. You've already tried to do it on your own and you cannot. Right? So here's what I promise today during this class. Is I tried to show you how it is or why you cannot control yourself around certain foods and what you can do about it. I also showed you how our brains have been broken by the standard American diet from the so-called designer addictive foods and how it is that we need to fix it now. I also showed you how you're going to be able to sculpt an incredible head-turning body without stepping foot into the gym, and how you can finally fit back into your skinny jeans even if you haven't been able to for years, and how you can quickly start to shed that unwanted belly fat without having to sweat it out in the gym 7 days a week, and how you can start to live in the body of your dreams even if you've given up. And then I showed you how you're going to be able to use the mind-body reset so you can keep the weight off forever. So here's what you need to succeed. You need to leverage your metabolism for quicker results and ditch the standard American diet and fix your brain chemistry that's been destroyed by the refined foods over the years. And also be empowered and use my mind-body reset and invest in the right mentoring. You see, these 4 shifts alone are enough to propel you to lose 10 pounds immediately and go on your last diet ever. That's right. So now you have a choice. You see, you can either take this information that I've given you and you can forget all about it and keep struggling with the weight and your health. And you can continue to gain more weight or get sicker and possibly get a chronic illness. The odds are in your favor that you probably will. You can also go back to your old habits and your ways of being and try different meal plans or exercise plans that you don't like. You can continue to not like how you look and feel and not be able to wear the clothes that you want to wear and not be able to go to the places that you want because you've got low energy. And you can continue to feel like the fat woman in the room. You know what? If you are done with this way of living and you truly want to get into the best shape of your life in the next 45 to 60 days and really unlock your full potential and your beauty and your gorgeousness and have tons of energy and feel vibrant and confident that lasts all day long so that you can perform at your peak. And imagine walking into a room, maybe at work or at a restaurant or a party, and you command attention because confidence is pouring out of you because you are so beautiful and thin and healthy and happy. If this is what you want, here's what I have for you. So my team and I, we've actually set aside some time in the next 48 hours to actually speak to you personally about how you can apply these shifts to start losing weight today. You know, whatever your biggest challenges are, we've seen it and we know how to overcome it. So during this session, we're actually going to craft a step-by-step plan to help you to start to lose weight, whether you have 10 pounds or 70 pounds to lose. And during this session, we're going to actually help you to get clear on 3 things. First of all, what's been keeping you overweight? Secondly, what you need to do about it. And third, a plan to get you there as quickly as possible. So the cost is absolutely free. So you know what? This is not for everyone, all right? You must be ready and committed to lose your extra weight and keep it off. You must be at least 10 pounds overweight. And you must want to lead a healthy lifestyle. So if this is you, go ahead and book a session now. You can go over to joanofhealth.com/apply. So why is it that we're doing this? I'll tell you why. It's because I don't want you or anyone else to live like this anymore. And I've got an insatiable desire to help to end suffering. I've been there and I know what it's like to suffer and be on the weight loss merry-go-round. People are dying and living horrible lives unnecessarily, and it can be prevented. I don't want to see people suffer anymore and go back on these yo-yo diets and watch as the weight continues to creep up again. I was in the food business, remember? I know exactly what's going on out there. And I have the answers. Also, we want to help to make this world a healthier place for ourselves and our family. And I know that you might want our help to help you transform your body and your health. If so, we can discuss it and see if this is actually a good fit for both of us. And you know what? If it's not, that's okay too. This is still going to be the most amazing 45 minutes that you will ever spend regarding your health and your life. So go to joanofhealth.com/apply. Spaces are very limited. Sign up now. Once again, joanofhealth.com/apply. You can actually, if you're on a laptop, you can see the little button on the right side. You can click on that now. Now, if you're listening to this on your smartphone device and it's in full screen, you may need to get out of full screen mode to see the button to apply. So once again, joanofhealth.com/apply. joanofhealth.com/apply. So when you click on the button, you're actually going to be taken to our calendar page. So select whatever time works for you, and I'm going to need you to fill out a couple of questions to help me make the best use of our call. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best 45 minutes you ever spend on your health and your life. But before you go, I want to share an email from one of my clients who struggled for a long time and finally lost all of her excess weight, and I'm so proud of her. She wrote, "Dear Joan, I truly feel that the work we did together helped me to lose all of my belly fat and learn to lead a healthy lifestyle. If I hadn't worked with you, I would still be struggling with my weight and wearing baggy clothes. I would still be eating the same foods that were keeping me addicted and fat and moody and miserable. And I'm so happy to have you share my quote and my story if you can just help one person be as happy, healthy, thin, and free as I am. Thank you so much for all of your help. Your guidance and support was invaluable. This is Renee. She lost 26 pounds in 6 weeks, and her waist size is under 30 inches, and she hasn't been this weight since she was in college." Once again, the URL is joanofhealth.com/apply. And it's really been fantastic spending time with you, and I look forward to talking with you soon.